Welcome to channel The Golden Goal. We will bring you the fastest, latest news about the day of the ball world. Take the subscribe, and press the bell button to see the next videos.
Jose Mourinho discusses Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Manchester United future. Jose Mourinho has discussed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future as Manchester United manager, and he has appeared to cast doubt on the Norwegian's impact beyond this season. Mourinho, who was fired by United back in December, raised apparent concerns about Solskjaer's lack of experience when assessing Fulham's recent decision to replace Claudio Ranieri with Scott Parker. Can Fulham get a better manager than Claudio? Not at all. Can you compare the experience between Claudio and Scott, who is going to coach a team for the first time? Not at all. But sometimes in football, and you have the example with my former club, Man United hiring Solskjaer, that sometimes changes on the immediate. I don't believe too much in these changes in the long term, but these changes on the immediate, there are sometimes some positive results. Solskjaer was brought in to replace Mourinho, despite the 46-year-old's only previous experience of the Premier League dating back to 2014. It was a brief and ill-fated spell in charge of Cardiff City, during which Solskjaer was unable to prevent the Bluebirds' relegation from the top flight. Solskjaer's time in Wales was bookended by spells in charge of Molde in his homeland. The man who scored the winner to beat Bayern Munich in the 1999 UEFA Champions League final to give United the treble, previously coached the Red Devils reserves between 2008 and 2011. It was hardly the marquee resumed to replace Mourinho, who won the Champions League with Porto and Inter Milan and also led Chelsea to 3 Premier League titles in 2 spells. Even so, Solskjaer's impact has been more than even the most optimistic United fan could have hoped for. A 12-match unbeaten in the league has taken United back into the top 4. Solskjaer's squad is now in pole position to qualify for next season's UEFA Champions League. He also has United in the quarter-final of the FA Cup after impressive away wins over Arsenal and Chelsea. Those results are part of a record-breaking sequence. Numbers like these show Solskjaer has passed the grace period, or what Mourinho dubbed the immediate. Some setbacks 20 or 30 games into his tenure won't be a symptom of Solskjaer's lack of experience. They will merely be the inevitable plateau most managers face after such a fast start. There's more to what Solskjaer has done to revive United than results. He's also restored some of the staples many believe to be core traditions of the club. Most notably, Solskjaer has United playing a more expansive game than they did under Mourinho. It's meant more goals and greater faith in younger players, particularly those who are former academy graduates. One graduate thriving since Solskjaer took over is Paul Pogba, the former academy ace who left for Juventus then returned in 2016 as the marquee club record signing of the Mourinho era. Yet while Mourinho and Pogba repeatedly clashed, Solskjaer has the Frenchman enjoying his football again. The effect has been staggering, with Pogba finally assuming his role as the creative talisman of the team. It's little wonder Solskjaer is reportedly now the sole frontrunner to land the job on a permanent basis this summer. Weight has been added to those reports by Solskjaer's recent admission he is the face of United's advertising campaign for season ticket sales ahead of the 2019-20 season, per BBC Sport's Simon Stone. Mourinho's doubts aside, United are fast approaching a point where it will take a very good reason not to appoint Solskjaer full-time. Only the acquisition of a proven winner, whose arrival would guarantee the signings of several star names, would likely suffice, with fans growing used to winning ways on Solskjaer's watch. Mourinho was supposed to fit that bill, but his cautious tactics and fractious temperament never seemed to fit at the establishment club in England's top flight. Mourinho even admitted some factors had an influence and that the last period was not a good one. It's impossible to win trophies without a good relationship with players. Hazard matches Chelsea legends Lampard and Drogba with Premier League milestone. The Belgium international joined a select club of Blues players in setting up Jorginho for the decisive goal in his side's 2-1 victory over Fulham. Eden Hazard reached a major milestone for Chelsea during Sunday's trip to Fulham after he became only the 3rd player in the club's history to score and assist 50 Premier League goals. The Belgium international provided the setup for Jorginho to net the decisive goal in a 2-1 victory at Craven Cottage, clocking up a half-century of assists in the top flight. It means Hazard, who has also found the back of the net on 81 occasions, has had a hand in 131 goals in the Premier League since he joined from Lille in 2012. The 28-year-old has already reached double figures for goals in a single season for the fifth time at Chelsea, needing only 4 more to equal his personal best of 16 in the league, which he achieved in the 2016-17 campaign. The feat means that he joins a select club in Blues history, with Frank Lampard and Didier Drogba the only other men to have managed such an achievement with the club. Hazard has enjoyed a highly successful career since making the move to Stamford Bridge, with 5 major honours to his name, including 2 Premier League titles. He has also picked up winners' medals for the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, then known as the Capital One Cup, and the Europa League. A firm favourite on the terraces, he was named Chelsea's Player of the Year in 3 of the seasons since his arrival, as well as picking up the FWA Footballer of the Year in 2014-15. Hazard also currently sits 10th on the all-time list of goal scorers at the club, with George Hilston's tally of 108 well within his sights. Chelsea's victory over Fulham will have helped to ease the pressure on Maurizio Sarri in the hot seat following a generally uninspired start to 2019 that saw them slip to heavy defeats against Bournemouth and Manchester City. Salah wasn't ready for the Premier League. Mourinho defends decision to let star leave Chelsea. The Egyptian was allowed to leave the Blues during Mourinho's reign before going on to become one of the world's most valuable forwards. Jose Mourinho has defended his decision to allow Mohamed Salah to leave Chelsea in 2014, claiming he wasn't physically prepared for the Premier League. Salah joined the Blues in 2013 and scored 2 goals in 13 league appearances, including the final goal in Mourinho's team's 6-0 win over Arsenal in March 2014. He was loaned to Fiorentina before being sold to Roma in 2016, where he earned his reputation as a reliable goalscorer in Serie A. Mourinho has since come under scrutiny for allowing the Egyptian to leave, especially since the sensational goal-scoring form that saw Salah score 44 goals for Liverpool as the Reds reached the Champions League final last season. Mourinho, who was sacked by Chelsea in 2015 just months after winning a 3rd league title with the club, told beIN Sports, "I asked Chelsea to sign Mohamed Salah. He was inexperienced and not prepared physically to adapt to the style of play in Premier League. Now, he is physically and mentally strong and well adapted to Premier League because he went to Italy and gained experience. He is a wonderful person and I wanted him to stay at Chelsea, but he was looking for more minutes." Discussing events at his former club, the Portuguese was full of praise for Blues boss Maurizio Sarri over his handling of the fallout from the Carabao Cup final defeat to Manchester City. "If Chelsea had lost the game against Tottenham and Kepa was out, Sarri would have been in a big trouble," said Mourinho. "He handled the situation very well. It was just a misunderstanding." Sarri clarified the whole thing and Kepa apologized. "The goalkeeper does not like to make a scene and the reaction of Sarri during the game made things look ugly. I am happy Chelsea won against Tottenham because that result brought stability to their dressing room." Addressing his future following his sacking by Manchester United in December last year, Mourinho said, "I do not think I will coach a national team." Chelsea sorry, I could have benched Kepa for rest of season. London. Maurizio Sarri revealed he considered dropping Kepa Arrizabalaga for the rest of the season before restoring the Spain international to the Chelsea team for Sunday's hard-earned 2-1 win over Fulham. Kepa, brought back into the starting 11 exactly a week after refusing to be substituted in the Carabao Cup final against Manchester City, made key saves from Aleksandar Mitrovic in each half as Chelsea withstood sustained spells of Fulham pressure to maintain their top 4 challenge. Goals from Gonzalo Higuain and Jorginho were enough to secure Chelsea 3 points at Craven Cottage despite Callum Chambers' 27th-minute strike, and after the match, Sarri highlighted Kepa's performance as proof that he was right not to kill his £71.5 million goalkeeper for defying him at Wembley. "It was a normal decision to bring him back, I think," Sarri said. "Kepa made a big mistake. He paid for it with the club and the team. Now the situation is closed. There was only one other way, to put him out of the squad for the rest of the season. But Kepa is a man and understood, and reacted very well. I can kill him, but I think that, bringing him back, was right. I spoke with him during this week and he understood. His behavior during the week was really very good. His reaction was really very good." Asked if he could have left Kepa on the sidelines for the remainder of the season, Sarri replied, "Considering the man, No, because I know him very well. I am sure that it was only a misunderstanding at the beginning, a big mistake at the end of the situation. But, with another man, yes, of course. I could have done it in another way. With him, I know him very well and know very well it wasn't the right solution. I know very well the man. He is very clever, with a very good mentality. He made a mistake and, we had, a misunderstanding. Now is enough. But now I know very well that, Willy Caballero is a very good goalkeeper and, an important man for our group and our dressing room, so I have to find space for him. Another man who found a measure of redemption at Craven Cottage was Jorginho, who netted the game's decisive goal, and his first for Chelsea since the opening day of the season, after this week pledging to win over the supporters who have criticized him. I'm very, very happy for him because he scored, but my opinion about Jorginho is the same, Sarri added. He's a very great player, one of the most important in Europe in that position. Of course, for him, it's not easy a first season in this football with a new team.